guys, today we got the Gripzilla Dynamo. We're going to tear this box open and see what we got. Looks like the Gripzilla Dynamo comes in its own little carrying case. They even have the name right on it. What we're going to do is we're going to open this bag up right here, see what we got. Alright, now that we got the Gripzilla Dynamo out of the box, we have two handles that we would hold on to. They're knurled, almost like you'd use it for a barbell at a gym. Two smaller little twist handles, and that's going to set how much resistance you need on the machine. So what you can do is you can loosen up or tighten up depending on where you're at right here. And you can twist, and you can actually feel the tension in your flexors and your extensors in your wrists. And if you want to go harder, you can actually go a little tighter on each side and get more of a workout. Or if you want more of a workout with just an individual hand, you can tighten one down and loosen one up. So like right now, this handle is actually tight, this one is loose, so I can actually hold it stationary and rotate in and out. And then that way, if I'm trying to twist back and forth, I can actually target one hand more than the other one. I can see a lot of use out of this for a lot of strength athletes, because if you have weak wrists, you're not really going to be able to support your weights. And I can really see the benefit as an arm wrestler, because I want to be able to hit that motion in a match. And if I don't have enough power to hit that motion on the match, my wrist will get taken, which means it'll open up. They can slide up my hand so the lever is longer for them, and they'll be able to easily pull my hand down. So what I would do on this is I would get it to your desired resistance and almost set up like I am on the arm wrestling table, which your wrist would be straight. I'll put the dynamo in my hand, and then I would rotate my grip in. And as an arm wrestler, I would use this by practicing my hook, which I can put it in the position that feels comfortable, resistance that feels comfortable, and rotate the wrist in. You could actually probably hit even a shoulder workout with a hand stationary and working your shoulder around. One thing I could really see, it actually wasn't in any instructions that I've seen, but it is finger dexterity. I would loosen this up just to figure out where you're at baseline, and then you can just rotate in and actually do finger work. Like, this isn't really specific for arm wrestling, but could be for elderly people that actually have loosened the dexterity in their hands. Now that I'm thinking about it, if you wanted to work on a slight more grip, you could actually pinch the ends in that position and work on a riser. And you can actually turn the dynamo on its side. It'll be a little bit harder to do. I don't even really think it was designed for this, but it actually will work for it. Is grab like a little pinch grip, grab the sides, because this part is stationary, and you would just rotate up and down, and that can give you a wrist workout, which would work on your riser, which will help you get a higher hand in arm wrestling. We actually took the dynamo to the gym and to arm wrestling practice for the guys to test out. Let me talk about a couple of things that I'm not that fond of. It's not a deal breaker, but just little minor inconveniences. My hands are slightly bigger, so they come really close to hitting the adjustment handles. I can slide out a little bit and it's not as bad, and my hands almost want to slide off the other side. Also, when you have it on certain tensions, You can hear that it's louder. I like the concept of the bag, but I'm not a big fan of the quality of the bag. Like, the bag could be slightly bigger, so that way it's easier to put in and take out, because when it's really packed in there, the zipper doesn't really work that well, and since it's really putting tension on the bag, my bag has already torn the stitching out of it on the end. It's not a big deal breaker, but it's just a little minor inconvenience. I mean, I'm not really going to just be taking it around to the gym by this little bag. It'll probably go in this bag and then in my actual gym bag or wherever else I'm going. And one more thing is getting this adjustment correct, because if you actually go too far on one side, it'll kink it just a little bit, so one side will be tight and the other side will be loose. But I'm sure that's just once you get used to using the product, you'll figure it out type thing. Let's put a decent amount of pressure on here and see how long it'll take before my wrists and arms get tired. Already feel the burn in that. Now you can definitely feel the burn up in here, and I can actually feel it in my hand because I'm using a twisting motion to keep the grip on the Dynamo. One of the pluses with a Dynamo that is small size, you can fit in your bag or even your back pocket. And the ability to do a forearm workout anywhere is also probably the biggest plus. There's like so many workouts you can actually hit with it. You could start out with a wrist roll just to get you warmed up. Switch it over for me, who's the arm wrestling hook action. You could loosen it up, go to the finger dexterity workouts, then you could actually switch it over so you have a riser position. Or if you're really missing summer, you can tighten it up and pretend that you're riding your hog. The Dynamo will really help with rehabilitation purposes, as you can set the resistance to something low so it's not as impactful on your body. Like, I have this sprained wrist. It's not 100%, it's getting there, but I could actually really feel not the pain but the pressure of where it was injured. So I could really target that to get it to 100%. And being an arm wrestler, usually an arm wrestler's wrists are pretty strong if they want to be successful. And let's test out how strong this can get. So we're going to tighten this down quite a few turns. See if we can budge it. I can barely move it, so that means we can probably tighten it down a little bit more. You might be able to see that that's getting real close together, so that means it's like super tight. And I can't budge that, so this isn't something that you're going to outgrow right away. Usually I'm in the gym like 2 days after arm wrestling practice just for a rehabilitation workout. I do a lot of wrist work, arm work, stuff like that, specific to my sport. What I'll actually do is I'll get a kettlebell, and not too heavy, but I'll just hang it down like that and just bring it up to help speed the process. It actually makes my wrist stronger on the back, and I think it actually puts a little bit of size on the back of my hand as well, which, like I said earlier, it makes it harder for the other person to grip when your hand is bigger. This I'll be able to practice without even having to go to the gym. You can practice this sitting on your couch watching TV. So we'll loosen that back up because it's still pretty tough from when I couldn't budge it. Loosen that down. So now you are actually hitting that back motion with that. And you can actually tighten it down to one side, not the other one. So that way you can stabilize this side while this one twists. So I'll put the current price of the Dynamo as the making of this video here. And if you'd like to get a Dynamo, you can get it on gripzilla.co, which will be in the description below. You can also check out other Gripzilla products like this 350-pound gripper that I can't budge, so we'll be working on that. We'll check you guys out in the next video.